Welcome to the DL Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm the proud owner of a new car that I don't have. So,
Wait, what? Did you order a car?
basically, yeah. They're so rare. Plugins are so rare in California that because of the rebates, you just have to wait months and months and months. And they don't know when they're going to get them and all this stuff. So we found out they're going to get one next week. They called us because we've been waiting. So we ran down there and we paid for some absurd amount of money for something I haven't even looked at.
So this is an electric car?
Partially, yeah. It's a hybrid.
Oh, okay.
Plug-in hybrid. So your first 32 miles are free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what my brother's new car is like.
Yeah.
The first 32 miles is all electric, and then it dips into the gas. Probably a good call considering gas is like $6.50 now
Yeah,
in San Diego.
Yeah,
What's up with that?
For sure.
It's getting pretty wild out here. Never seen it that high.
Yeah. And Canadians, I saw they were posting $5 or $4, but they're paying per liter. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money.
Per liter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's a lot of loonies.
More on that when I get it.
That sure is.
For those wondering, we got the plug-in Sorrento hybrid SX. It's fucking nice.
Sorrento.
Yeah.
It's my parents have the older version of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That car.
They basically what happened was, like, she has a Kia now. It's just too small. Constantly people come to San Diego, they stay with us, and then we go to Mexico. But our car's not big enough, to like take everybody comfortably and the luggage if we're going to stay and stuff. And this is something that happens multiple times a year. So fuck it. We're basically spending more money for other people. Whatever.
Yeah. It'll be a good car, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, video games.
And
Yeah.
video games.
Yeah.
Speaking of electric,
Yeah. Let's talk about
Nice tie-in.
some video games. Let's move to on the radar games that have come to our attention recently. I'll start it off with Buccaneers. Actually, no, I'm going to start it off with Conan Chop Chop. I'm going to call an audible here, switching it up last minute. Conan Chop Chop is a game that, if you guys remember, it came out, or it was part of like some sort of April Fool's joke or something. I can't remember what exactly.
Yeah.
But it was all these fake trailers for games were released, and Conan Chop Chop was one of the games. And everybody was like a little disappointed that it ended up being a fake trailer because the game looked pretty good. It was this very cutely animated roguelike hack and slash, kind of like Castle Crashers, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Co-op.
Yeah, co-op game. So because there was such a positive response to it, they're like, okay, let's actually turn this into a game. And I forgot about it for like, I don't know, 2 years whenever this happened.
I forgot it till today.
Yeah. And apparently it just came out March 1st, Conan Chop Chop. It's on Steam, and it is they got a demo, but it is $15 on sale for $13.50. So nice not to have to do a little conversion there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it's out. Not a lot of people pick this up, and the reviews are like, they're okay. 75% out of 150 reviews on Steam.
I read some of the reviews. It seems to be all technical, and that it'll be stellar or very good once a couple patches come out. Basically, is what most of them said from what I was reading. And then I watched a little bit of gameplay, and it's more than just us. Castle Crashers. I don't think there was too many mechanics, right? Wasn't it just hack and slash, basically?
No, Castle Crashers, each night had a different like set of skills.
Power.
Yeah, and then you get different weapons that do different things.
Okay.
So
same here. And it has roguelike mechanics. So just like, other roguelikes, you unlock things that are available on your next run. You don't get them that run and blah, blah, blah. And then, let's see what else. There's a parry mechanic, timing your block, and, gets them dizzy, stuff like that. And all the different characters have slightly different abilities, different dashes, different parries, different special moves. And then there's modifiers. You can pick up like emblems or something, some sort of metal or something, and it changes the way your character works. So I saw, instead of just swinging a sword, it turned the sword into a boomerang. So he was throwing that around, and then they stack on top of each other too. I think you could have different ones. So he had another one where it was flying around him. So yeah, there's a lot going on. It's not just a beat 'em up.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's cute as hell.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Cyanide Happiness art, the way they draw. That's what it looks like. Little stick figures.
Yeah,
like
it does.
that, but
It actually,
Castle
now that you say that, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, for $15, I don't know. I may check it out eventually. It looks pretty good.
I like that it's online co-op too, Instead
Hopefully
of
we
just-
do get those patches.
Yeah. And I really like Castle Crashers, and I was really surprised that they never made a sequel to that game.
Or did.
I think they did.
Did
there was
they?
a Castle Crashers 2.
Really?
I want to say. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. If only we had someone to look this up.
Jeez.
all the way up in
But,
Canada.
And we're looking for a new sniper. If you're a sniper,
But I think a lot of people forgot, or if you're like kind of a new gamer, you may not know like how much of an impact that game had. Castle Crashers. That was like that was really like the big game of Xbox was doing this new thing, the game store, some sort of shop thing on the console, and it was kind of when they started moving towards like let's get away
Digital,
from these. Well, yeah, selling it digitally through the platform, but also like let's just sell these smaller, like kind of indie games for real cheap instead of like everything big AAA. And it was a huge deal. And I remember playing it on Xbox long before I ever played it on PC. But really enjoyed that game.
this one and that one and Geometry Wars was the other breakout indie.
That was on PlayStation, wasn't it?
No, that was a Xbox.
That was Xbox too.
Pretty sure.
I remember
think-
Geometry Wars, on PlayStation.
I think wasn't it
It
when
just PlayStation. I think it was both.
Oh, sorry. I think it was, wasn't it when they started switching from Game Informer giving out the demos and CDs to like trying to do that kind of concept, but with the game store and Xbox? Because I thought I remember first having like a demo of Castle Crashers on Xbox and was like, oh, this is amazing. And then had to buy it. Yeah. Because I also too played a lot of Castle Crashers on Xbox.
Is Nick low for you guys? He sounds pretty low.
Yeah, Nick, you do sound a little quiet.
Is it better now?
Yeah,
Sorry
there
about
we
that.
go.
You
That's
gotta
better.
kiss that mic, buddy.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, your mic too far away. But yeah. So this looks, I mean, it looks very similar to Castle Crashers, and kind of excited to check it out because of that. Now, Castle Crashers is the only game I've ever had an issue with as far as the Steam Cloud Sync goes. The only time I've ever lost a save in Steam Cloud was with Castle Crashers, unfortunately.
I'm hearing. I read a headline about Elden Ring having some Steam Cloud issues.
Oh yeah. Now my buddy just lost about 11 levels worth of progress.
Oh my God, that's a game you don't want that to happen in.
Yeah,
That
no
sucks.
kidding.
Yeah, as someone who's playing right now, and like to get a level right now is like a solid hour of grinding.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
lot.
like,
Yeah, that's rough.
It's rage
But
inducing.
Bobby, here's a nice time to plug that. What is that? Not that we have.
Oh,
anything.
Game Save Manager? I don't even know if that's still around anymore.
What's it called?
Game Save Manager?
Yeah, Game Save Manager.
Yeah, I mean, that would just manually back up games. Yeah, let's see if that's still around. I used to use that program all the time, but really with the Cloud Sync, it never, I reached a point where I just never needed to do it. But if you want to locally, yeah, it looks like it's still out there. I guess they're still updating it. September 2021 was their last update. It'll locally save all your saved games.
Yeah. So
Different games.
Nick, you might want to do that just for as an insurance. You know.
Yeah.
excuse me, I bought it on PlayStation. My
Oh.
shit works, son.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm just kidding.
You're off
but
the
yeah, no, I
podcast.
did buy it on PlayStation, but it also has cloud saves as well, which is nice.
Here's a cardboard box. Put all your stuff in it. You're fired.
Oh,
Oh.
not again.
So I have a theme this week, for at least for a couple of these games. Demolition. Two games that are kind of similar, not completely. The first one is Instruments of Destruction. It's a physics game. It reminded me of Siege. In Siege, you make a siege vehicle, and then you go to levels like tear down this castle, and then it's all a physics game. You know, if your siege weapon won't even stay together, you're not going to knock down this wall. You know, and so it's like a bit of an engineering game. This one is that, but it doesn't seem like it has levels. It seems like it's just like complete sandbox. You just knock down buildings with these crazy contraptions that you put together, and there's some pretty gnarly ones that they're building here. There's like this guy makes it like just like a cube. There's like snake ones, all kinds of shit you could be trying. Of course, the fucking trailer always makes it look super cool, and it doesn't show you the hours and hours that goes into making something like that work. Mm-hmm. But I remember when I was playing Siege, JP Diddy saw it. He started playing it, and he just played in free play the entire time. He didn't play the campaign at all, and he was making these. He's an engineer, right? And so he was making all kinds of crazy. He made I believe he made a quadricopter. And I don't even think that you're supposed to have like fucking flying machines in that game. And he made a semi-functional quadricopter, if I remember right. But so like a game like this, that's all sandbox, probably a little more up his alley. But I thought it looked cool. And their theme song or the song that they have for like selling it, pretty good. Started off like a rap song and then goes into this like poppy thing, and they're actually singing about everything that's happening on screen. I was like, this is really well produced. You don't see that very often. So extra credit for your...
Is that in the trailer?
Yeah, it's in the second one. The second video.
Trailer.
The second
That's
video.
really cool.
Yeah, turn it
This
up.
reminds me of that game. Do you guys remember?
Silence, boy. Sorry.
Are you ready to start playing with physics? Eradication, no pre-canned gimmicks. Well, come enjoy the satisfying sensation of forceful structure annihilation. Islands, horrid shanty towns, concrete and steel. Let's tear it all down. Let alone ancient ruins, just let them stand tall. Historically important, so they better not fall. Isometric viewpoints with tilt shift
Isometric viewpoints.
Wow.
I do like the electric bass.
Every trailer needs to be like that.
Dude, that was pretty good. And we didn't even get to the breakdown. Like, it changes to a poppy song right about there.
I thought you were going to tell me it changes to like weird science.
Sorry, Nick. I only cut you off because it was starting.
I didn't realize it was starting. My bad. This reminds me of that game. Like, we first started playing like PC games together again, like after a long ass time, and you were like, "We're playing this game for the podcast," and it was like a game where you build carts out of cubes. Do you remember?
Oh yeah. And you made the Dickinator.
Yeah.
Do you remember Robo?
Yeah, because like the whole point was that like the way your car's health was how many cubes was left on your car.
Yeah.
Like all my cubes were on the top of my car and nobody could hit it.
Well, it was like a big battle. Like two sides would build their machines, or they'd bring their machines into the game, and then they just run at each other and just collide. And it was kind of like whoever was left standing. So you're trying to build something that would stay together really well, but also do a lot of damage. I can't remember the name of that game.
I think Robo was in the name.
Yeah, that
Robo
sounds
Build
right.
or Robo something. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah, well, I remember that because we were at the time having a screenshot contest. We got to do another one of those. That was fun. I think maybe it was RoboQuest, but we were having a screenshot. No, it wasn't RoboQuest. That's that other game you're talking about.
Yeah, I like that game.
But Nick submitted the one of his Dildozer.
Dildozer. Yeah. There we go. The Dildozer.
I'm gonna look in my library and see if I can find it.
Okay.
In case you were wondering who is the first one, like when there's a game, there's the whole thing, the whole meme, the TTP, right? Time to penis. If you're wondering who's that, it's guys like Nick. Nick is the guy making the penises out there. It's
every time.
It's every time.
He's got the book of dicks.
His treasure chest of
Treasure chest of dicks. Real Jonah Hill over here.
I do want to. I want to talk about this just because it was advertised and it just popped in my head a long time ago, and I've never seen it implemented. In EverQuest 2, they were talking about this like technology where the video camera would be on you, right? You're like whatever your camera, and it would be tracking you facially, and then it would put your emotions onto the character.
Avatar. Yeah. Star Citizen has that.
Oh, it does have that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know how well it works, but yeah, it does have that.
And then I was just thinking, like when you watch most streamers and stuff, like and most gamers, I feel like they're just fucking dead faced. Aren't most people like, you spend all this money on this fucking technology?
I don't know. Most people get like especially when they're really concentrating on a game, you kind of get that lifeless gaze, that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are better at controlling it than others. I am not. I cannot stream, man.
Sorry to bring this back to the greatest news story of all time, but the game's called RoboCraft.
RoboCraft, yeah.
And it's okay. So I want to go to the store page, please.
Okay.
And I want you to see how much this game has evolved.
Oh shit!
It's a lot of DLC. It's free. There's a lot of DLC.
Oh wow!
Oh, that looks like some hardcore combat there. They got guns now.
No, but dude, they were just made out of boxes before, right, Nick?
Yeah. Now they have hexagons and triangle prisms and all this kind of shit. Like the different shapes. It's no longer just boxes.
No, I mean they are, but they're just a lot smaller.
They officially released in 2017. Okay.
And it's still got support. I'm trying to see how many players are playing this thing.
Nick will tell you, or Bobby will tell you right now.
Let's see, 335.
It's not nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people. That's not bad for a game like this.
People own this game.
DL Gaming Bump, dude.
Well, it was a great idea, though. It was like basically
great idea.
Play with Legos, build something cool, and then just throw
Smash them into your friends.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Destruction Derby.
The other, wow, we went on 8 tangents there. The other destruction game is Teardown. And this is a breakout hit this week on Steam. I had seen them talk about this a long time ago when it was just a concept. I believe it was a Kickstarter, and it just smashed on Kickstarter because the concept is so cool. So basically, it's a heist game. And you get an indefinite amount of time before the heist to destruct the place however you like. So you can basically blow things up, move things around. You have vehicles to do this. You have explosives. You have small things like hammers and axes and stuff like that. And what you have to do is get from point A to point B. So you steal the MacGuffin, whatever it is, and you have to get it to the exit point in a certain amount of time. But it's impossible the way the environment currently is. So you go in there and you modify it by destroying things to make a direct route. You know what I mean? So obviously you break holes in walls so you could run through walls instead of going around. Obviously things like that. But also like knocking down a telephone pole in the right area to make a bridge between two buildings would be a way to like make something out of destroying something. It's a great concept. Good for anger, says somebody. One of the best Steam purchases of my life is another review.
Building go boom.
This is probably a pickup for me. Yeah, $16. Overwhelmingly positive. 33,000 reviews. Those are solid numbers, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like a good heist game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the final part of their campaign, like their like in-game like campaign done December 2nd of last year. So now is the time to buy it because the full game is out.
So this game is only single player, though.
Yes. Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh well, this does look familiar. I think I remember seeing marketing for this before.
Yeah, I put it on here when it was on the Kickstarter version. Or level.
Hey, cool.
So good for them. Great. Don't you love when you see like an idea like come to fruition and then success? It's fucking great.
Love to see it.
You know what's also
Love
pretty
to see it.
fucking great? I tried this game, Vengeful Rights, on VR because VR is still
His life.
really fucking great. I have to be careful though. I was saying I don't know if it's from any of the hallucinogens from my past or just going too deep down VR, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little too strong and can fuck with your reality. So you got to be careful. Do it in small doses. But this game is pretty fantastic. I feel like I almost feel like I'm in Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings at the same time because you are focused on, you're like a mage, and you also do have a sword and shield, but your shield, you can see the shield in that video right there, that golden shield. You fight creatures and navigate through this like fantasy world that reminds me of like Lord of the Rings, but you definitely have all these different spells that you can use, and there's different movements. One of the things that I love so much about a lot of these VR games is there's a lot of little details of how you can do things. Like that shield, for example, you would access that's the spell that you want, and then you have to flick your wrist a certain way to activate the spell, and then with fire you have to like make a certain motion to do it. And so I like that they have all those little elements in a lot of VR games where it's like little details like that. And I even saw that in like The Wanderer, where like I said, you were pressing the button of the watch and like you'd have to hold onto a tool and then rotate a thing onto it. Like I love that they're really interactive like that, you know, because it really increases the immersion, and I feel that way with this game as well, for sure.
And if they didn't do that, it'd be like a huge loss. Like, why wouldn't you do that and make the game more fun or at least interesting at the very least, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you could push a button to cast a spell, or you could do a sign in the air and cast a spell. Which one is cooler?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so far I like the demo of this. I'm kind of curious, and so it's on my radar. I played just a little bit of the demo, went through, fought a little gnome looking dude like that guy right there, and it's cool because you can parry and you know actually fight with a sword as well and block, and so to me the combat feels pretty solid, and you know depending on your form like changes how hard you hit this enemy and stuff, and so I think I like those little details that are in this game, and I'm kind of curious to see how this game progresses and how it's received when it's released, you know.
Oh, it's in early access, or
yeah, and they just have the demo.
That's the only thing.
So that's the only thing, because I just played that, but like I said, I'm curious when this gets released what the reception will be, because I do feel like in VR there are quite a few games that are like this, you know, the fantasy world kind of games with magic and fighting, and so I'm kind of curious to see which one is going to be the best one, but this one so far is good, and I'm excited to see kind of where it goes. But
and no price on this yet, right?
Oh no, it is out.
That's
okay, yeah, right, it's out. Yeah, it's $20.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's not bad for a VR game. $20. It's actually on the cheap end.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. The graphics totally remind me of like early World of Warcraft. Like maybe 10 years ago, like that, and this goblin down here, like that's totally wow right there.
Yeah.
All right.
A little bit of WoW, a little bit of Elder Scrolls Morrowind, so you know I'm a fan.
Okay, so the other game I wanted to talk about is Buccaneers. Buccaneers is an upcoming game that is... I thought I was going to see it. Didn't. Held it in. Okay. Buccaneers is a pirate game that reminds me of Blackwake. I don't know if you guys remember Blackwake. That was a game that I stumbled across one night and ended up staying up on a work night till like 3 a.m. playing because it was just so good. But it's pirate combat. You and a bunch of your buddies jump on a pirate ship and you go battle other people on a pirate ship. I mean, I guess kind of like Sea of Thieves too, but Blackwake was more focused on the combat. It looks like Buccaneers, there's other things to do as well.
Bobby, it seems like you really want to be a pirate, man.
I enjoy pirate games. I just think there's not enough out there. So
I feel like, what do you guys think Bobby's job would be on a pirate ship?
On a pirate ship.
Is he logistics guy? Like, is he just like, we have
like he's
40 cannonballs left?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'd do on a pirate ship. I would not want to be a pirate, I'll tell you that, on a pirate ship. I mean, they had a lifespan of like 32 years. You look up any pirate in history, like they did not live very long.
Fast and Furious. That's all they needed to live.
But yeah, this game also is in VR. And if you look at it, it looks like a VR game. Now, it's not strictly in VR. You can play it without a VR kit, but it does support VR. But that'd be pretty cool. It's got that kind of voxel-based graphics style that you see a lot in VR, I feel like.
Hey, Bobby, go back. One thing is, am I seeing a map in the water? Is that what I'm seeing? A map? Yeah, go back.
In the water?
The one that you were just... The one in the docks.
Okay.
That one right there. Is that a map in the water?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
That's what an interesting way to like do the UI, huh? If that's what they did.
That's cool.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah.
Yep. So this game does not have a price yet. It's coming out March 7th, very soon here. So it's a VR game. It'll probably be not that cheap, but something to keep an eye on there.
Yeah.
This got me curious though. Like, whatever happened to Blackwake? How's that game doing now? So I looked it up, and unfortunately, the game is just pretty much abandoned. Now, when I played it, it was in early access, and it needed a lot of work. It was just, I think it was built on the Unity engine, and it was just really clunky. The hand-to-hand combat was terrible. It needed a lot of work. And I imagine like it got patches and stuff, but I don't think it ever really got where it needed to be because there's very few people playing it. Today's peak was 60. And you need like 40 people in a game or something like that, or like 20 to 30 at least to have a good versus match going with this game. But I'm so glad that I played this game at the peak of its popularity. Like, it was so much fun just for a few nights there.
Yeah, people were crazy.
Do you guys
about
remember
this game.
Sorry. Do you guys remember the fact that fucking the guys that made Ark made a pirate game?
What pirate game was that?
Atlas.
Atlas.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And then it failed miserably.
Dude,
Yep.
they had the craziest trailer ever. I was like, is this the greatest thing ever made? It had dragons
Yeah.
and pirates and fucking krakens and fucking all kinds of shit. And
So
Oh yeah, I remember this.
apparently it's still pretty decent for the role-playing servers. So like the following that kind of sticks with that tend to be the role-playing people that are making content with that.
We just
But-
found out that Days is like a role playing server admin. He's like,
No,
actually,
but
guys,
no.
the game is great.
No, but
it's
I-
still live.
I mean, there's 1,500 people playing the game right now, so that's not too
Yeah,
bad.
and like I said, but I only know this because like I follow like the No Pixel and a lot of the stuff on 5M because I was doing role playing with Grand Theft Auto for a minute and almost got into Ark, and like I know a few people that do participate in a lot of the role playing community, and this is one of the games that they still play to this day. But it's a role playing server.
yeah, it's probably a great backdrop for your role playing game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys didn't write a story, so we're going to make our own or whatever.
Well, that's why in a way role playing in Ark is pretty big too and pretty fun as well. And so you'll get a lot of that, but it's the ability to allow people to mod, you
Yeah.
know. And so when you open that up, you're really opening up the doors for role playing communities to thrive because it's through those mods that these people can create kind of these amazing stories and storylines and stick with it and role play and create that content.
People shit
it's
on
just
it
different.
so much for like
Do they?
No, because of the trailer and then the reality. It was one of those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest. What do you call it?
Flops almost.
In that regard,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I felt that way about Ark, honestly. Like the screenshots and the videos that they have on their Steam page, when I actually played the game, it just didn't look as good in motion, I guess. I don't know. I've been deceived by screenshots before. Like a game can look really good in a screenshot, but then when you actually put it in motion or actually play the game, there's just something about it.
Who named that? Good. You pulled that out of your ass. That's a great. I would.
Dude, I love Ark.
I could have been
It's-
sitting here
and it's
a
little-
1,000 years. I wouldn't have said Atlas. I forgot the name of it completely.
Have you guys ever seen? So this is kind of like a little bit of a tangent that you mentioned as far as like role playing goes and like things that keep things alive. So do you guys remember how WoW created the classic servers because role players were keeping those old servers alive and taking out like Blizzard's like we want that.
I didn't know
money.
they were role players. I thought they were just people who really liked the vanilla WoW.
Essentially, the majority of them were role players, and that's how they got like a yeah. Anyways, there's a YouTube series that if you guys like to see some of the most interesting like parts of like role playing and things like that, there's this guy who proceeds to get the hardest mount in all of WoW Classic, and it's the Scarab Lord mount. On a role-playing server in like a limited amount of time, and it's so good. Like, and his name is Barney64. I would definitely recommend watching it because people legit are role-playing with him, and he's not a role player whatsoever, and he's like trying to get into it, and it's pretty funny.
So is it like a synopsis of like, or you're watching the whole thing of him getting it? Or is
No,
it,
you're not watching like the 11 weeks of playtime. No, he's
It's
like
edited
giving
down?
you highlights and everything. Like he's like telling you the most
Gotcha.
important parts and stuff like
Wow.
that. And I think it's across 18
is he trolling?
videos.
Is he trolling them though?
Not really.
I mean, don't you
'Cause-
get kicked out if you're trolling in a role playing server? I feel like you're going to get kicked out pretty quick.
It depends which one. Some of the role playing servers and people are like really strict. Like I remember when I did role playing on Grand Theft Auto, you had to apply and get interviewed and create like almost a resume and like the direction you were going with the character. It was intense. Like it's like a full job almost. But some of them are kind of like, dude, whatever. And so I mean, it just depends on the community and the actual server that you're going into, you know, because a lot of these games people can just buy servers. So it's really whatever they want, you know, right? And so because of that freedom and competition, you can get all kinds of little worlds inside of the servers.
Days, were you able to listen to Critical Role, or you didn't listen to it?
No, I'm going to do that this week.
I mean, I'm not pushing you. I'm just curious what you're.
Oh, no, I'm excited. Emilio sent me a link to an Elder Scrolls Critical Role kind of mashup. And so I'm looking forward to listening to that this week because I have a lot of time to listen to podcasts and audiobooks during work.
That's such a perk.
It is nice. Yeah.
So, Critical Role, since all of them do video game voice acting, and they all play video games, and they're all nerds and stuff, when a big game comes out, they will do a one shot. A lot of times, just like one episode or two. In this case, they did a 3-parter in the Elder Scrolls universe, and since that's her shit, I was like, hey, here's this thing. But Nick, they also did a Elden Ring one shot that hasn't posted yet, but I'll send it over to you as soon as it's out. But yeah, usually their one shots are pretty good. Oh, Doom Eternal, probably when that came out, they did a one shot. It was interesting because they were the bad guys, and then they were going up against Doom Guy, and they all got slaughtered, I think. Spoilers. But yeah, 3 hours of them getting fucking... Yeah, because
that's the synopsis of the game.
Yeah, they're basically
the spoiler warning at the end. The spoiler.
And Matt's really good at like fucking putting adjusting the names and the rules to the D&D universe, you know. So basically, he gave Doom Guy all these legendary actions, which are like the extra turns. He's like, "Well, sorry, you got grappled by the fucking grappling hook, and he pulled you towards you, or whatever." He's like, "Oh fuck." Anyway, that was a fun one. To see them as the enemies. Yeah, so that's a thing. Are we on Heavenly Bodies? That's fine for me. So Heavenly Bodies is a fumble core game. You play an astronaut that is kind of doing a spacewalk, and it's up to you to get certain items into other areas. And, you know, when I was seeing the control scheme, it just 100% reminded me of... Octodad. So, you know, each limb has its own gripper. So, if you've never played a fumble core game, they're hard to control on purpose. And it usually leads to some frustration and some hilarity. This is a split screen co-op. If I remember right, Bobby, you could do split screen co-op on remote play, right? On Steam?
Yeah, and they'll list that on the Steam page here. Remote play together.
Yeah, so there you go. This seems like a good 2-player, have some laughs, and try to. When you say like, what are you trying to do? Oh, you're trying to get this thing over there. You're like, oh yeah, it's fucking easy. No, it's not easy when you gotta make sure you're holding onto the ship at the whole time, and you're made out of fucking Gumby. Yeah. It's funny, right?
I loved watching the two guys. Like the one guy opened up the hatch and almost flew out, and the other guy caught him. And all it reminded me of is when Emilio, you and I went out into that riptide in the ocean, dude. And you're like, "Here, grab my hand." That looks like a fun time, dude.
Man, imagine your life being saved by Emilio.
No, it's the opposite. I almost killed Days on top of that because she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm not doing so good." She's like, "Come here, man, I'll help you." And then I used her as a buoy and kicked off of her to save my own life. That's basically what I did.
Yeah, he pulled me in just as a wave smashed into my face.
Days is like, workers' comp.
No.
But I went out there to warn her that she shouldn't be that far out in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, so he saved me. Yeah.
So
it just like this, you know what I mean? You save each other through hilarious moments of stupidity. Yeah. I love it. It's fantastic. This looks very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game looks like it's totally 2-dimensional.
Yeah, it's in a 3D I mean, space.
It's like 2.5D.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like in a
yeah.
3D space, but you're only moving on a 2-dimensional plane.
Yeah.
Could be fun. It's, after I played Octodad, I was like, all right, I'm done with Fumblecore. It's you're never going to top that. But the co-op in this could be fun.
Different. Oh, but then Octodad was like 8-player co-op, right? Because each person was a limb.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
You could do it like 2-player co-op where one person controlled the right side of the body, the other the left, or one person controlled the arms, the other the legs. Yeah.
But this has great reviews too, overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, pretty good. Price
see.
is $20 on sale for $15. Not bad.
Yeah, it
bad
looks
at all.
nice too. Like there's such a diversity of things that you've got to do and be doing. So that looks very fun and very hilarious with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, this may be a game that I buy. Like, this seems like a one-nighter game, or like, every Tuesday you play with your wife or something for like an hour, if you love each other.
Yeah.
I might pick this up.
And when somebody might say like $15 for a game you're only going to play once, what if you were going to go to the movies instead? You'd pay $40 in at minimum, so for the same amount of time or whatever. So.
Or you just play with a different person, and then it's funny watching them experience it for the first time, and could end up bringing it back.
But what if your
For
lover
fun for
gets
you.
jealous that you were playing with somebody else? That's
Oh, well, get a new
Wow.
fucking lover. I don't know. Hey, God, nobody got time for that kind of jealousy. Something that has nothing to do with jealousy and certainly is not funny on my radar is Pandemic Train. But I probably will pick this up, though, because this game, I had fun. I played the demo. They had the demo out. It's not released yet. They're going to announce the release, but it seems to be a mix of a like management kind of game where you're adding different parts of this train and survival, but then there's this whole element of like an RPG that's very much like, to me, Wasteland 3. Like that's kind of what I was getting vibes of when I was running around, because you are walking around and shooting and looting and stopping in these places. Although there's a mechanic about it that I'm truthfully confused. I think the further you're out away from the train, the more that the pandemic zone like infects you and makes you sick. And so you have to, that is somewhat of like a timer of getting in, getting your objective and getting out. This isn't necessarily a kind of game where you want, like I would with an Elder Scrolls game, where like I would just check every single thing, read everything. You don't want to do that with this game because you're running against a timer of this pandemic zone, it seems. And so, but it's, honestly, I think it's fun, and I do like the more management games. Like I love Spiritfarer because you're building your boat and putting different things, and then with this one you're building your train. But I love that you leave the train with a team as well, and you're going around and finding things that can help you in looting and stuff like that. And it's very top-down RPG, which is cool.
Dude, I dig this. I dig the thinky, smarty part, and then the shooty, findy part, and then how there's dichotomy between them. But when one gets stale, you go do the other, and the other one breaks up the monotony of numbers and whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And it's smart because you have different crew members, and you can pick up people like with Death Road to Canada, where you're like making decisions of whether you're going to add this person, but obviously they take more food. And so you have to make decisions like that. And then
Why are all the
assign
workers
them.
Mexican? What the fuck is going on here?
I don't know.
You got two white guys, and then all the workers are.
Well, the middle
Jesus
guy looks
Christ.
like he might be
I don't know.
Russian.
It's in
I don't
black and white, so it's kind of hard to tell.
And this game has racism.
like-
it has everything, dude.
Emilio's like, look at him. He
It's a
looks
real
exactly
pandemic.
like me.
It's a real pandemic. No.
I try to find myself in games, and I found it. But then again, I am a laborer, so I guess it all works out.
True, but
It kind of reminds me of XCOM, where you have these two sides to the game. One is like the strategic side. It's even got the cross section of the train where you're installing units and objects, just like you did in XCOM. But then you have that isometric. Well, XCOM's like turn-based, but this looks like it's real time. You have
Yes.
that combat in that isometric view.
I don't want it to be understated how sad this train looks, by the way. It's just dingy, and it's going through the wasteland, and it is...
Post-apocalyptic, man. It's honestly actually amazing that the train's even running, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the last train.
And the fact that you can put chickens on the train, we won't. That's not realistic, but that's okay.
I come downstairs, and Sam's on the computer shopping as she does every day. And I'm like, what are you buying? She's like, I want chickens. I was like, no, dude. She's like, 2 chickens for the garage. I was like, no, we're not going to get fucking chickens.
In the garage?
Yeah.
Like she wants to buy a chicken coop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and let them walk around in the garage.
Oh, man, you're going to get chicken shit all over the place.
You're gonna get chicken shit all over the place, and they're gonna start laying some eggs in some corners and shit. And that's, you've got to be on top of getting some eggs. My mom's got some chickens.
It'd be nice because they give Jocko something to do to protect them and herd them.
Eat them.
That's what I thought too, Bobby. Like, delicious.
He's super smart. The other night, we have this strange cat in the neighborhood. It's all the thing. All the neighbors are talking about how we're gonna get this cat. Nobody can get it. And I was like, Jocko, we're gonna go get this fucking cat. So we went in the front, and just all my commands. First time ever hunting anything down together. He just understood everything. Stop, go. There he is. Fucking, I don't know. It's all built in. It's crazy.
Dog is super well trained. Yeah, you showed me all of his tricks yesterday. Yeah, he's really well trained.
Yeah.
But something that's similar to being on a train, on a road, heading in a direction. I'm going to go right into my next on the radar with Road 96. I put it on the radar because I do own the game. I am playing the game. I'm trying to figure it out, but I only spent 30 minutes on it. So I don't feel like that's fair to truly give a real review. So definitely next week I'll give a real review about it, but it is interesting so far. And it definitely pulled me in with like all the 10 out of 10s and everybody saying it's such a good story. And so far, I don't see that.
You're like, yes, the public is stupid once again.
No, I mean, it's just, so it kind of reminds me in a way of the Boxcar Children series, like the children's book growing up, where it's like a group of kids and teenagers and stuff that are riding trains to like escape. Typically they find mysteries. It's I don't know if I'd say it's the Midwest Scooby-Doo, but like maybe I don't know if it's the Midwest,
exactly
but yeah,
from what I'm seeing right here.
it's very, very Scooby-Doo, but like a children's book. And so there were some
and they're
elements
hobos,
of
right?
that.
These
Yeah,
kids?
kind of. Yeah, like they're going.
Well, they've got
Hobos?
I mean, they ride a train. They've got the stick and bindle there. And they just stop off from town to town solving mysteries.
Yeah,
It's pretty wild.
And so the goofiness of that, it kind of reminds, like Road 96 has some elements that kind of at least bring me back to reading this series and stuff. Because you're a teenager who is trying to get to the border. And it's crazy because I think you start at like 1,600 miles from the border or something. And with the first fucking dude, within the first 5 minutes, you go to like 600 miles left. And I'm like, what?
What?
How did you get there that fast? And then you're in a taxi and you've got no money. So like, what were you going to do? So I don't know. I feel like there's just, to me, there's too big of holes already in this game that I don't think I would want to recommend it. But a lot of people love it. And I do think that it's cute. And I'm looking forward to playing it some more because I don't feel very right on just shitting on it after only playing 30 minutes, even
How
though
high
that would
were
be
you when
very
you're playing
DLG. I don't think I was that high. That's probably the problem.
I'm just wondering. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to think if Life is Strange has all those holes. You're the character, right? But then they do outrageous maneuvers that you have to get them out of. You're like, I never would have done that.
Yeah.
And that's a constant problem. But then that's how you tell an interesting story, right? With
Absolutely.
adversity. What are you going to do about this taxi? I'm worried about what you're going to do in this taxi cab.
Yeah, there's the taxi right there. But you know what? And I see so much video and content in here that I just can't even fathom seeing that. So maybe it's just getting started with this game, and it's just way too much of an early, thought. And so that's why I'm definitely going to be playing this game this week to explore it some more because it does seem like a decent enough game to learn. And honestly, it's pretty. Like I said, when you're driving and you're looking around, like it is really nice and pretty. But there's this massive theme of like, as a teenager, the fate of the politics in this world is in your hand, and that's bullshit. But like otherwise, it's really interesting and cool. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more with these characters, because it does seem like they repeat, and it's a unique adventure. So I don't know, maybe I've been playing the game too boring, dude. I'm not sure.
I've had this. I put this on the radar as well, and I like to space out my story-based games, so I'm gonna wait because I just finished Life is Strange 2. But yeah, it's on my wish list. So this is kind of my game twice a year, I would say.
Interesting.
Yep.
You took my radar, by the way. I chose Teardown. I saw the second half of the trailer for it, and it goes from like haha fun bank heist to like fighting robots with tanks and stuff. It gets crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that there was going to be enemies.
All right. Well, let's talk about some games that we have been playing. I played This Means Warp last Friday with Sniper, who's not here today, and a couple other members of the community. So first of all, this whole Steam remote play thing is pretty seamless. Mm-hmm. I think this might have been the first time I've used it. I'm not sure, but I didn't even realize until after the fact that this was only a local co-op game, no online co-op.
It tricks the computer into thinking the person's right next to you, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, it is listed as online co-op, so I don't know. Maybe it is. But I could have swore we were using remote play. I thought I saw something that indicated that. But the game, when we first talked about this, we said, oh, this looks like multiplayer FTL. Different graphics.
No, Bobby. You promised us multiplayer FTL. That looks, you promised. And that's what I was expecting.
That's what I was expecting too. But this game is not so much like FTL. It is more like Overcooked. But instead of running a kitchen, you are running a spaceship that is getting into battles. So it's got that kind of like chaotic, who's doing what job. We all need to be like maximizing our potential at every given moment to pull this off. FTL, it's been so long since I played that game, but I'm pretty sure you could pause during the middle of the game.
Anytime.
Do some strategic stuff. You can't really do that. This is just like Overcooked. Like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Like, oh, this needs to be repaired. That gun needs to be reloaded. We need to fire at this cannon on their ship. There are a lot of elements that are like FTL. One key difference, though, is so in FTL, when you started, you had a hull breach and you'd lose oxygen, but you could seal off that room and just be like, okay, nobody go in that room. In this game, if you get a hull breach,
you can trap people in that room.
Yeah, you could trap people in the room. You could also board the enemy ship. Maybe you can board the enemy ship in this game. There's a way you can like go out in a spacesuit, but I don't think I could board the enemy ship. Maybe that's later because this game was actually pretty tough. We didn't make it too far in it. I blame my teammates, but
who doesn't? Who doesn't in these games?
Blaming the DLG community, Jace.
But what was I talking about? The oxygen. So when you get a hull breach, the oxygen and the entire ship starts going down. If you get multiple hull breaches, it goes down faster. So I was a little disappointed. I like the whole compartmentalized thing. But it is cool that you can play different characters and they each have their own unique strengths. Like some of them are better at being a gunner. Some of them are better at repairing. Some of them move faster. And you can upgrade as you go along too. You get XP. So there's some cool things at play here. But it was not as strategic as I thought it would be. And as much as I liked Overcooked, like, I don't know, it's a game that requires multiplayer. In this game, you can play single player, but again, it just feels like it's meant to be played co-op with more people. And it's just like that run around craziness of Overcooked that I don't like. It's okay. It's kind of fun a little bit, especially in a party situation, but
I don't party, so
yeah, pretty much, man. Because it's always like we're playing on a Friday night, people are indulging and stuff. So it's like it's not like the game that you can really succeed at if you're just like being silly or like having fun. But I feel like we had some pretty good runs, and we made
them having fun slowed down your fun.
Yeah,
basically.
But we kept getting stuck at this one
Bobby
spot.
Likes playing. I can see why you tolerate me and Leslie now when we play For the King. You're like, okay, They're having fun, but they're being serious. I like them. This is
Yeah,
okay.
we take our playthrough pretty serious on that, and we're doing really well on that. We gotta return to that. But I mean, I don't want to name names, but somebody accidentally overwrote. We had this little repair bot or this ammo bot who would go out and reload the guns automatically, and somebody accidentally installed something on top of him that got rid of him, and we were having like probably our best run yet. So
Does his name rhyme with sniper?
You really were going to say diaper?
and he's not here to defend himself, which is a real tragedy. But I don't know. I think everyone was kind of getting a little sick of like having to play through like the early parts of the run. So like at a certain point we called it.
It's a roguelike then? Mm-hmm. You start from scratch every time?
It's a demo right now. So there really isn't too much of the game. There's lots of locked characters. There's guns and stuff that you can unlock. So I think, I don't know, man, as much as I love demos and I love the fact that you can play these games and get a really good idea of whether you're going to like them or not, I also feel like I fall into this trap where I'm like, oh, this game sucks because, and then it's always these features that are just not included in the demo. You know, when I played The Wandering Village, loved the game, but I'm like, it lacks in the late game. Then I'm like, wait a minute, it's a demo.
Yeah.
There is no late game.
Right.
So, you know, I always have to like hedge my expectations with these, but you can, like, when you do stuff, you unlock like new types of guns, new characters, new ships, new types of defenses. So I think there's a lot more to this game than I experienced, and I think it's a lot better than I initially thought. But
And not just that, your biggest complaint is your teammates. Really?
yeah, well, no, I think they were doing just fine. We were doing just fine. We just
Right?
Yeah.
It would have been better if, well, Sniper said it perfectly. It would have been better if we could replay the last mission that we died on, like just start from like that checkpoint. Having to replay from the very beginning was like, come on. And it wasn't procedurally generated. It was like the same thing over and over again. But yeah, there's definitely something here. This game's coming out pretty soon, March 17th. No price yet.
Yeah, despite your review, man, this sounds fucking... I'm not interested in cooking. Way interested in fucking spaceships.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of too, like the one that what was it, like Out of Space, I think was the game. You didn't like it as much of like, it looked like this at least, but it seemed like it was way more simple than this one. Like this one's got a lot more going for it, whereas Out of Space was just like clean and grab the little goopers and put them in the like shredder.
Yeah,
Days, I'm going to the kitchen. Do you want ice and a drink or anything?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah,
You sit on that?
yeah.
Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, Out of Space was you aren't fighting other ships. You're fighting like this alien infection that keeps trying to take over your ship. This, in that respect, it is like FTL. This means Warp is like FTL, where you fight. You actually zoom into a combat and you fight another ship. But yeah, and the bird character's name is Knob Knob. I don't know why, but that was just so funny to me. Knob Knob.
What a name.
What a name.
Truly genius.
Nick, you want to
So
talk
I want to give a
about...
shout out to a local celebrity in the DLG community now. He's in our chat, and his name is Robe Man. He's actually a debate Twitch personality. He wears a robe, and he wears glasses, and he's pretty funny. You can catch him on his channel, just Robe Man TTV. He also has a food truck. His wife manages a charcuterie board company. The dude's hilarious.
Man's got it going on.
Follow him, sub, whatever you can do. I don't know all of his talking points on all of his topics, so I can't endorse all that stuff, but I can tell that his personality off the mic is hilarious. So
Well, we were in the middle of playing some Total War Warhammer 3, man, and like starting to fight, and he popped in his robe and shit and just started asking us some great, like, random funny questions. And yeah, it's very funny, dude.
yeah, the guy's a hit, man. So yeah,
Nice.
Watch
All
out
right.
for him. His name's Robe Man.
Well, we'll link his channel in the show notes there. Cool. All right, Diz, what you been playing?
Yeah, so I've only got 2 games that I got some time for. Because like I said, I'm trying to get outside a little bit more, but it was a little rainy in San Diego. And so
It was.
I tried Magicka 2, which I also would like to go back because this game's pretty fun. I like that you create these kind of like different spells with different combos. So you could do like ice, I don't know, like a void dark magic thing, and it'll create like an icy dark depths of, I wouldn't say hell, but it'd be like frozen over hell, to launch at enemies and stuff. And you can play this with other friends and co-op. And so like I was playing with Sniper and Tag Loro, and we were having a blast. And then SOCOM popped in and like pulled up all the different combos and was telling us different stuff to play. And so there's so many ways that you can change the cast and the spells that you use in this game, which I think is really fun and awesome. And I haven't really seen that with the ability to have so many different combos. You can basically land traps with different kinds of magic, and it's not all just, Eldritch Blast, basically. Like there's all kinds of different stuff, and you can see there, like with that crossfire, like it's a pretty fun game of just an adventure going through and just messing shit up. Very the fighting and the combat is kind of like real time with, there's elements of like Diablo in there, obviously. But like I said, the really feature, I think, is using these different combinations.
And the synergies.
Yeah, and the synergies and like working with each other. There is friendly fire, so do be aware. I am goofy sometimes with that and end up killing my friends, which makes me sad. But, you just learn to spell again, like they say. So it's cheap right now. It's 75% off until March 14th. It's like $3.74. It's absolutely worth that price tag, I think, just even to play with your friends. You can remote play together with this game as well. And so I do recommend it. It is fun.
Bobby, remind me our history on this. We loved Magicka 1, and then we were let down by Magicka 2, or we were let down by Magicka 3. Was there a Magicka 3?
Well, I don't think there was a Magicka 3.
I felt like we loved the first one because we beat it together in co-op.
See, I never played the
we
first
played that one. I think we played some with Chad too. Yeah, we really enjoyed that. And Magicka 2 came out, and I remember it really looked different graphically. Like it took on a more realistic kind of look. The first one was very cartoonish, if I remember. And I remember them pushing it hard, seeing lots of like commercials and stuff like that for it. But I remember there was something that turned me off to Magicka 2.
Turned us off.
It was like, and I brought this up when some people were playing it on Friday after This Means Warp, and I don't think anyone knew what I was talking about, but I felt like it was like they were doing some sort of open world, persistent universe, microtransaction type of thing. Like they made the jump over to that, and I was just like, no, not really interested in that. But I mean, the game obviously has like a campaign mode and a co-op and everything. So I don't know, maybe that was something they did at first, or maybe I just don't remember it clearly.
Yeah. Possibly we didn't give it a fair shake because we love the first one so much.
Yeah.
I do want to say that like these input special abilities I've seen only twice out of fighting games. I've seen it in this and Twisted Metal. And that's pretty much it. Like fighting games all use it.
Oh, geez.
Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
That racing game on the PlayStation?
Excuse me, it's a car combat game.
I just remember the
You
ice
mean the
cream
most
truck.
niche fucking genre of all time for games?
But those are the
Car
two games that I
combat.
know that like left down or left, right, down, up would be like the freeze ball or whatever.
These combinations and
Yeah.
synergies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You only see that typically in
But
fighting games.
love it in that, love it in this.
Agreed.
How come more games don't do this?
I don't know. It's a really difficult control scheme for me because it's so unusual. You don't see that a lot. So in Magicka, you move the character like you would a character in a MOBA. You move them
around.
with clicking around. And then your WASD, that doesn't move them. But I think like QWER, assuming you're on an American
Or arrow
US
keys.
keyboard. But all that stuff is what you punch in to cast a spell. So you press like, WED to cast like an ice spell or something, or QFA to cast like a lightning bolt. So you're like punching in these codes basically to, and then I think you right click to actually cast the spell. It's a really interesting control scheme, and it's kind of satisfying because you get better at it, you learn it, and you become more adept. But it's kind of a steep learning curve, at least for me.
It is for me.
Maybe it's
as
easier
well.
with a controller. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I remember, we were calling out shots like, do your fire, I'll do my ice. And then the steam came out, and then stuff like that, or light and dark, or whatever it was, and the synergies, and you could get some crazy shit going.
Yeah. We found some, when we were playing the first one, we found like a combo that just worked way too well together. I think we kind of broke the game with that. And then from there on out, that was like all we did. Like, you cast this, and I cast that on it.
Yeah.
Get your
Good shit, though.
rotation down.
Yeah.
How many people are playing this game right now? Let's take a look. Any guesses?
Probably bumped right now.
200.
500.
500?
250.
250 playing right now. Okay. That's not
Today's peak, though, was closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
366.
All-time peak was only 1,500. That's kind of sad.
It is fun. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worth $3 and what?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
2 cents right now. Absolutely, or 74.
I can say that.
sorry.
250 for the original Magicka.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
these graphics are better than I thought. I thought there was way more cartoonish, but it's about the same.
Looks like Magicka 2 is almost more cartoonish, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
120 people playing the first Magicka. All right.
That nostalgia, dude.
Okay.
I just turned my phone off and turned back on.
Yeah, time to buy a new one.
My friends are
Throw it out.
my friends are drunk, and they're trying to FaceTime me over and over.
Oh my goodness. Happy Sunday.
Oh, man. All right. What else we got here?
I don't know. Where are we? Oh, Risk of Rain 2 Survivors of the Void. Totally. I know you brought it up, Bobby, and then I totally forgot. And then it was one of those things where like, it's out. And I was like, ooh, gonna buy this. And then proceeded. Oh, then I let you know. And then,
And we played together.
yeah, Days and I played like 4 rounds or something. We didn't get very far, but we were able to see some of the new stuff.
I was really surprised. So this came out on March 1st, and I checked out the Steam page out of curiosity, even though I don't really like Risk of Rain 2. And I was actually really surprised at how much content was in this update.
It's a fat content.
Quite a bit.
And I didn't know when we played Days, I didn't know the extent of it. So the first thing you'll notice right away is the this is a big game on the Discord, and everybody has it, and this is my go-to. We end up playing this a lot of the times because it's such one of my favorite games, and it's so easy for those who own it to just jump in and jump out that like we play this more than probably even more than DRG. It's just a go-to for me. And so when I'm on, which is a rare thing, people usually want to play what I want to play, and so it's this. So anyway, it came out, and then the thing you notice right now is the existence of warp energy way more than before. So there are these nodes. It's a new thing that you can click on, and it'll explode, and these little warp void creatures go out and infect enemies or infect your teammates. And you wouldn't know if it infects your teammates, but I'll get to that in a second. Whatever it infects, it turns into a void version of that creature. They get more powerful, and you have to kill them. But you get a void item. What that void item does is you get it, and it modifies one of the items that you have in perpetuity. So let's say you have something that gives you better crit. If you get the void version of that, instead of a crit, it'll just explode outright, but it's a lower chance of it happening. Does that make sense? That's just one item, but any item in the game can get voided or mutated, let's say. So all kinds of crazy shit is happening. On top of that, your teammate that's playing, if one of these little void creatures jump on them, you'll turn on me, and I won't even know what's going on because you don't change color or anything. You're just kind of like the enemy now. And and I have to like blow it out of you or something. I don't know exactly how it works because it hasn't happened in multiplayer yet for me. On top of that, there's 2 new survivors. On top of that, there's 3 new game modes. There's this is what I've been playing the most, actually. I didn't play it with you because I figured out this is how you unlock one of the guys. It's a wave survival, but it's not just like fucking Risk of Rain. Nothing's just normal. It's weird as fuck. You're in the void, which is like, it hurts you. Anytime you're in the void, it hurts you. But you have this little creature that makes this bubble. And as long as you're near that creature, you're not taking the damage, right? But the bubble size varies from what's going on. It goes big, it goes small, and the creature gets up and just randomly starts moving, and you have to stay with it, otherwise you'll burn in the void. So it's not just a regular wave survival. It's wave survival plus trying not to fucking get eaten up by the void, which adds a lot to it. It's not just let's just stay stationary, because then if you did that, the stationary survivors would obviously be just the best. Like the engineer would just be outright the best. So there's that. I could go on and on. The two new survivors, one is a straight sniper, like it feels like you're using an op in CSGO. You zoom in, you shoot, and then right after you take the shot, there's a little status bar where you have to do the quick reload. It's easy to do, but as frantic as this game gets, it gets a little tricky. But if you click it right, then you go back into the zoom mode a lot easier.
And that's the railgunner.
He's the railgunner, yep. And then I unlocked the Void Fiend, who just seems super OP to me. He's got this timer that goes up, like as if you're doing damage and stuff, your timer goes up. I would say about every minute and a half, 2 minutes, he turns into a superhero version of himself, and you just fucking decimate everything. And then you can sacrifice some of your health to stay in that mode. So it's a risk-reward thing. But he's super fun to play. Besides that, I'm enjoying everything. I can't say anything bad about this. The new levels are awesome.
They were really beautiful. Yeah, very cool.
The music is just as good as it's ever been. Fucking 10 out of 10 for me.
I wonder what would happen if I had a void milky crystals. That's like the item I like to use as the little hack and slash ninja dude, because it allows you to fly. And my whole goal is to never stay on the ground, right? And so that's why I like that one. But I wonder if it's the void, would it just yeet you up into the sky, dude? Or
it's really interesting. Those are the things that keep you playing. What happens if I get a void item of my favorite item, this other thing? It just does some wacky version of itself.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
This game just keeps on giving.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
I don't think I've ever played this game unless it was with Emilio.
Yeah.
And every time I play it, it's always fun as shit. So who knows? I might play this by myself now.
A lot of people picked this DLC up, so a lot of people out there playing it. My question is,
Bobby? I haven't seen the reviews.
The reviews were good. But here's my question. If one person has the DLC and somebody else doesn't, what happens?
So far, everybody who's played with me is like $9. Yeah, okay. So I don't know.
You just buy the DLC.
You buy the DLC.
That's what happens.
What's the other option? It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
I feel like this game, really, its cornerstone moment is the replayability of it, And I'm somebody that one of the reasons why I don't like a lot of roguelike games or whatever is because I don't like replaying shit all the time. But this is the one game that's an exception to that because it's just fun and it's casual and great enough that it's fun to play with your friends and even catch up and talk and just.
Yep.
But then it has its challenging moments where you work together then, and it's fun to replay it. You'll do a round and it'll take an hour and then you put it down and it's great.
Days and I died on the first 2 levels 4 times in a row, and nobody cared.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But that's when we're figuring out the hell the void and shit. That makes a lot of sense. I was wondering why I just kept dying in a bubble, and I'm like, what is this? It was the black hole, dude.
Yeah, you got to get out of those things. And so far, I have not figured out. That's another mystery. There's these, just like there's that void creature that keeps out the void. There's these void creatures that make void on regular levels, and you just can't do anything in there. You die in there. You can't shoot anything in there. You can't activate things in there. And I've tried to kill the creature that's making it, and I can't get it to work. Oh, and this came up, Bobby, because Sam just bought Mila Game Maker on Switch, or some version of it, and it totally reminded me that Risk of Rain 1 was made on Game Maker.
Yeah,
one guy.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I remember Risk of Rain 1, and a lot of people kind of liked it when it came out, but Risk of Rain 2 just blew it out of the water. To give you an idea, there were 55,000 people right now playing Risk of Rain 2. There's 130 playing Risk of Rain 1. But this game did come out in 2013, so.
Yeah. And again, made on Game Maker.
Yeah. All right.
That's cool.
Cool. Nick, what you got here?
As far as like what I played a lot more Elden Ring, and boy, is this game fucking amazeballs. Obviously, everybody's been giving it glowing reviews.
It's everywhere. They're advertising it
It was
everywhere.
on the UFC last night.
So many
nonstop.
times on UFC. Watch
So
dude
much-
get mounted on like the advertisement for Elden Ring, dude, which is I think a good reflection of the game, right?
During the fight, there's video of gameplay during the fight, not in between fights or between rounds. During the fight, there's a little video of Elden Ring.
That's funny as shit. It should be gameplay of people that have played the game, like actual like streamers and shit, and it's just them getting their asses kicked in the background. That'd be hilarious. Anyways, the game is obviously amazeballs. If you haven't played it, play it. Dude, this game is long. Like I can tell it's super long. I was like, I got the first map and I was like, oh man, I got this map. This map doesn't really seem that big, all this stuff. And then my buddy's like, oh, no, you don't get it. That's just a map of like a local region of like a little town. And that little town is like a part of a city. And that city is part of like this. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ. And like they have interactive maps online and there's so much to do. This game is honestly, if you're a Souls-like player and you just like, obviously, if you like boss fights and you just want more to do in a Souls game, this is the perfect game for you.
JP Diddy was talking about
so polished and so fun.
He was telling me that the open worldness was nice because, like, if you can't beat a boss, you could just go farm and come back later stronger, right?
Yes, but the other thing is like the open worldness, you'll just run into a random fucking boss. So there are story bosses that are quintessential, like in every Souls-like game, and then there's optional bosses, and then in this game there's like just straight up open world bosses that just, I don't know, fucking exist, and you kill them and you just get a bunch of souls and you get like other items and stuff. And
what class are you playing, Nick?
Huh?
What class or archetype are you playing?
I'll give you a hint. Tom Cruise was one of these at one point.
A samurai?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Last Samurai.
Yeah. So
Most racist shit ever. The Last Samurai is a white guy.
Yeah.
I saw a video going back to kind of a little bit, Nick, what you're talking about with just like big, huge bosses randomly in there. I'd imagine, because the video I saw, I'd imagine it can create some moments that are just absolutely hilarious, right? Because if you were like running around, the video I saw was somebody was running into like a mining shaft and there was a massive, massive boss at the entrance. And the dude ran into like a mining shaft and like hit the elevator and started going down. And the boss like kind of glitched out for a second and then fell down the shaft. And as soon as it landed on the guy, it died right away.
Whoa, that's awesome.
That's what it was. It was hilarious.
There's a couple of things like that happen, right? And some of them are, most of the time they just fuck you over. Like one example is like, there's a funny video that's going around on Reddit where like this guy's fighting this boss and the boss is on horseback and he's got like the boss is gonna die in one hit. Like the guy can fart on him and he'll die. And the guy's also has like is like he just has to be hit by a fly and he'll die as well, like the player. And he's fighting the boss and then just out of nowhere, like this villager with a torch just like pokes him. He just out of nowhere, because it's an open world game.
Yeah.
Anything can just show up. And so it just kills him.
It's pretty great.
Those interactions have happened to me. Like I was in like this weird swampy area and the bear just tore me apart while I was like fighting these weird tentacle monsters. And I was like, God damn it.
And
man.
just as easy, the bear probably could have attacked the tentacle monster, right? It just
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like there's friendly fire with like the monsters and like bosses and stuff. So like if a boss falls off a cliff, you just beat the boss. So
Are we talking game of the year here?
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my other game of this for this week, and I'll talk about it after you guys talk about some of the games. Gran Turismo is a great game, but goddamn, is this game going to keep my attention for way longer?
Yeah.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have that much more to talk about. Gorilla Tag, you were sorry to talk to me.
I was gonna say a game that does not hold my interest whatsoever. And I don't know, it's Gorilla Tag. So I wanted to play some Oculus with one of my other friends in a different community I'm in, and we were like, let's try this because it's free. And it looked out, I mean, look at it. It looks so goofy, right? So
Well, the reviews are good.
and the reviews are good, and it's pretty fun. I have a feeling I just didn't have a good time, or maybe the learning curve on this is a lot harder than I think. But like, yeah, it's crazy to me that this person can run and jump that fast. Although I was kind of getting to the point because you are literally moving your arms like that. I
Yeah,
feel like
you
it
have
was
no
a
legs, right?
Yeah.
So you're
And
using your arms to walk?
you're using your arms to walk, so it feels like a straight up tricep workout, dude. Like it's a lot of just like pushing yourself on these different platforms. But in reality, at least with what I experienced, me and my buddy, we tried playing this game for like an hour and a half, and it took us quite a while to figure out like how to create our own room. And when I first joined in, as soon as I joined in, somebody touched me and they were complaining that that sounds weird, but no, it is tag. It is a game of tag. So they're supposed to touch you to change your color as a gorilla. And somebody had glitched and like cheated and was hiding
bastards.
in the so like the very first game I played was somebody cheating, and then I played again, and I think it's overrun by like 10-year-olds, this game, I think. And so when I was playing, it was a bunch of little kids being like, hey you come here, and then like they'd give me the finger and laugh and run away, and I'd be like okay. And then one kid kept following me, being like, "Hey, kid,
you're laughing
you're
right
trash."
nowadays.
Yeah. Like, I mean, but one kid was following me around. And he's like, "Hey, you're trash. Hey, you're trash." And I just laughed because it's just like, dude, it's a game of fucking tag. Like, save up money and buy a real game. But it is fun and it is funny. But I don't know. Like, I can't see myself playing it that much. And I like I said, I do think that this game is absolutely dominated by a bunch of 8-year-olds.
And you
like,
can tell by the reviews, they're all like fucking 4 sentences or 4 words.
Yeah, like this is a kid's game. This is like everybody. This is like everybody came home from 8th grade and they want to mess with each other, so they played this. Like it's a ton of edgy 9-year-olds. Yeah, exactly. Like the game is toxic in a very childish way. So it's whatever.
Broke my Oculus controller and still gave it the thumbs up. So he dug it. Yeah, that's a lot of arm movement.
It's a lot of arm movement. Yeah, so I feel like my arms got a good workout yesterday.
More than the
kayaking game. Yeah, because you're also kind of grabbing and you're moving your arms in different ways since it's like your only means of movement, you know. And some kid kept following me around and be like, "Oh my god, you're trash. You don't even know how to run." And I'm like, "Where's the damn tutorial, asshole?" Like,
Go do your fucking math homework, kid.
yeah,
How about
right.
that?
Like, go convince mommy to
Find
buy
X,
you an
bitch.
actual game, dude. Like,
I gotta say, conceptually, I love this movement mechanic. I would like to see it in a different kind of game.
I agree
For sure.
Yeah, one that hopefully costs money, so all the 8-year-olds can't get it for free.
That's the real trick, man. That's what happens with free to play.
That's
Lets
why
all
you
the
have a-
riffraff in.
Exactly. That's why you gotta at least have a $5 tag, you know? You keep all the riffraff out with $5. Which, speaking of $5, that's how much it only costs for you to be a Patreon.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be a... Look at Emilio with the transition.
She's been here. This is like her 4th episode. She just did the best fucking sell point ever. I'm gonna step all over it again. But anyway.
I'm here until August, don't worry. So, yeah, but it only costs $5 a month.
$5. What do I get for $5, Days?
You get a lot, man. You'll get like a green tag on Discord, which you can find our Discord in the show notes or on dlgaming.net, and you'll get. After 3 months, you'll get a Shield sticker pack, which is sick. It's on my laptop. It should be on yours. After 6 months, you'll get a T-shirt, which would be cool. Everybody likes a T-shirt. You can get yourself a Poppy one if you want from from Movies on the TL. That's still there. And after
Pop.
a year, pop. And then after a year, you'll be popping off with being able to troll and pick a caster to play any game for like 3 hours and give a review.
Fuck. Yes.
So yeah, and you'll also get access to certain episodes that are only on the Patreon. And like today, we are going to be recording our I call it not suitable for work. It's not safe for work. Or
Are we doing it today?
NSFW. Yeah, we're
still
doing
doing
it today, dude. Yeah, like
I guess we are. I don't know.
we're doing it today. We're
Sniper's
recording.
not here. We have no idea what's going on, but $5, you can continue to see us not know what's going on. Bobby, where can I get this?
You can go to dlgaming.net and click on the Patreon button right there in the middle of the page.
Dun, dun, dun.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's
All right.
fantastic.
Uh,
Tell us about Gran Turismo.
What's it say
dude.
about us that our plug is the most exciting, funniest part of our show?
Is our plug.
Maybe we just do a fucking 2-hour plug. That was great, Days.
We just
Jesus
start getting nothing but sponsors like here with Squarespace. Just like my head, it's square.
Let me
Run by a bunch of squares.
just to plug the plug real quick. It's so good that Days is both a worker and pays us. She's still one of our top patrons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that I'm always on top, dude.
He's like, I want everybody to play Tales of Nadia. That's why I'm
Yeah,
on
it's
this Patreon.
yeah. Tales of Narnia, dude. You'll find all kinds of fantasy there.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Are we out? Heroes Hour.
Yeah.
So we have Heroes Hour and Gran Turismo left.
Okay.
All right. Why don't you go and tell us about Gran Turismo?
So this is not a PC game. However, this is like a game of the how do I say this? Like the generations.
It's a
Gran Turismo 7.
game. Transcendent.
Yeah, like this, Gran Turismo's been around for a hot minute, and for those who don't know, Gran Turismo is known as like one of the best simulators, if not the best driving simulator. The amount of tuning and like all the things you can do with your car, like from adjusting the angles of your tires and like the angle of your like, just it just gets really, really in depth. It's insane, but you don't have to do that stuff. That's the cool thing. You earn like licenses to be able to do certain races and things like that. The game is all the other Gran Turismos plus more. They made some changes so it's less cheesy. So before, you could just you played Gran Turismo, you would see the races, and as long as you had a certain car, you can do any of the races. And so one common strategy was to race a bunch, win free cars, sell the free cars, and then just immediately start doing like supercar races. Well, in this game, they don't allow you to sell cars anymore because of that. They want everybody to go through every kind of race type there is and experience every different type of like track and type of car, like front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, like all that kind of stuff. And the way they do that is with this new cafe mechanic. So you go to the cafe and it's like, oh, this chapter in this part of the menu talks about French hatchbacks and like and so the races you have to do all involve French hatchbacks, and you do it, and then like it teaches you about French hatchbacks, and you can just play the game that way, or you can just play it like a mindless person and just do all the arcade races. So the game there's a lot more to do. It's super fun. The photo mode is insane. One of the missions was simply just take a photo of your car. And me and Leslie, because I'd just been playing the game with Leslie, me and Leslie were just like, it's like, control the temperature, how fast your car is going, the angle of your car, the angle of the sun, the temperature, like all this other stuff, how clean your car is. It's insane. Like the light refraction on the lens, the lens angle, like the lens size. It's really cool.
Nick, I saw this guy. He was like, he posted this somewhere, and he was like, I wanted to make my real car in the game, and so I took the exact same picture. I could not tell the difference. The only reason I could tell which one was the fake picture was because the real picture had another car in the background. That was the only way I could tell. It's crazy.
So you mean to tell me that you could race with like a Subaru Forester in this game?
So there's no Forester. So that's another thing about this car. About this game.
Subarus are huge in racing games, though. There are tons.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Subarus in this game.
Yeah, the little speedster ones. But I want the soccer mom from the upper middle class suburbia rushing to get her kids to soccer practice.
Might be in Horizons.
All right.
So I think you can get some pretty wacky cars because there are rally races. Like you can get like a Toyota Tundra and some stuff like that. But
it's like a Ford F-150 racing. Like
you can
race to the gas pump.
Yeah. What's really cool is about this game, you can only buy, I believe, a quarter of the cars in the game. The rest of them you have to earn through like licenses and challenges and races. And then the other ones, they're temporarily available at like the used car dealership and also the Legends dealership, which are like these cars that only appear for like a couple of days. But it's awesome. Like it has way more features than the last one, which everybody's wanted. It's still Gran Turismo, but just with way more shit. So
Hey, Nick, so does it still work? I remember back in the day, you had to start with really shitty cars, and you would earn points and credits racing those, and then you move up to the next class. So that's how it is now?
So kind of. So you essentially are forced to buy a used car in the beginning.
Yeah.
They give you $300,000 in the beginning.
Is it like real world money though? You can apply that to like.
I would say everything is priced at like 1.8 times its normal price.
Okay.
Like a Subaru, I would say 2 times its normal price. Like a Lancer, like the road version is like $60,000.
Gotcha.
Which like back in like 2016, that was a $35,000 car. So I don't know, almost 2 times. Anyways, so there's a bunch of like free races, right? Where it's like, oh, any car can be used, any like specs can be used, but you start getting to the point where you have to use certain types of cars and certain classes. And then you get to the, like, I'm getting to the point where I need an international license and I need to start using actual sports cars, no longer like road cars and like sports cars. Like I need to actually use like real race cars. And so it's pretty interesting.
Right. But you're having a good time, huh?
Oh, dude, this game, I think we have a listener question coming up, and my answer for that question is this game, and I'll talk about it later. So.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Last game I'm going to talk about is Heroes Hour. I spoke about this last week, hinted at it, and played quite a bit of the demo, and I really enjoyed it. So this was the game that Sniper was describing as like a low definition Total War. And it is kind of like that. I can definitely see that. It's I don't know. It's a strategy game. It's what they call an auto battler. So you can participate in the battles and like move units around and stuff, but it really doesn't matter. You just kind of initiate the battles and let them play out. But it's got a lot of RPG and strategy to it, and you're dealing with this kind of grand strategy. It takes place on a large map against either one or multiple enemies. Here's the thing I did not enjoy about this game, though. It says that it is local co-op, and you could do the remote play, sure, but it is Hotseat gaming, which is a term I haven't heard in a while. Do you guys know what that is?
You take turns? What?
Yeah, it's like old school Nintendo playing a single player game with your friends, and you just one person plays until they die, and then the next person you hand over the controller, they play until they die.
Better not even say that, right?
Yeah. It's like why even do that, man? Nobody wants to play a game like that.
Well, I guess that means through remote play, you can let your friends play this and you can watch them play.
Well, you would each take a turn because it's turn-based, kind of like Civ. You know, you take one turn, you move your characters, you buy some stuff, you get some troops, you have a battle, whatever, and then you end your turn and then the enemy goes. So you could go back and forth with a partner and play turn by turn, but that just doesn't seem like a lot of fun. Now, I do cut this game a lot of slack because I think it's built by one person. I mean, the developer is listed as Benjamin Thing on its own Hauer, like he's got a nickname or something, but it looks like just one person made this game. And that is really impressive because it is a very fun game. It is out in full release right now, but the demo really lets you play quite a bit of it. And it also shows you the things that you would have access to if you have the full version.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. So you can see like, here's the you build up these towns that you take over, and in each town you can add like these upgrades that, generate more troops or more gold or, whatever. And you can see where that cuts off and what you can't get in the demo. And also like the different types of civilizations or whatever they call them in this. But yeah, you have like a hero character, you rally an army around them and you go out there and fight. And the graphics are, they're really low definition, but they're adequate. So
Good enough to, there's no legibility issues.
yeah.
What's this cost, Bobby?
This costs, oh my God, I think the computer just froze.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're still recording, but it looks like we lost the stream here, and my mouse is not working. But I believe the game is $20.
All right. Are you going to be picking it up?
I might.
Let's not get crazy.
I played so much of the demo. I feel kind of bad. I'm like, God, dude, I kind of had my fill of the game. Like I seriously dumped like 5 hours into the demo.
That's pretty good, though.
It is currently on Steam at $16.19.
You just lost the mouse? That's all you lost?
Well,
like.
apparently the sound is not working.
Okay.
So I think I know what the problem is.
Should we cut?
No, we don't need to cut. I'm going to move this so you guys can see the listener questions as we get into that.
God, he's such a good.
And then I'll fix this other issue we're having.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Going into listener questions. Wait, are we going to talk about the game of the month? Basically, it's become.
About it a little bit.
Yeah, did you play?
Warhammer. Yeah, I played it a bit, dude, and I'm so far getting the vibe that playing Magic in that game just sucks, or I suck at playing Magic is probably more of what it is.
What do you mean? Like,
Just squishy as fuck, like the classic like MMO. What's tougher with Magic in a way when you roll it that way? I just felt like every time I got into a battle, it was just like annihilated. Absolutely annihilated.
are you playing on easy versus AI, or what are you doing?
I think I'm playing on normal, so maybe I need to go to easy, but I don't know.
Is this your first Total War game?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I would. I mean, I'm going to play on
Sound
easy.
is good now, by the way.
Good.
All right. Yeah, just careful with the Jimmy legs over there. I think you unplugged our USB cord.
How's that possible, dude?
I don't know, man. I looked down there and the USB cable that has all our shit plugged into it in the hub was unplugged.
I don't blame the lady that's way closer.
Well, I mean, you're the one doing the little shimmy with the
That's
legs
true.
there. So
My legs never stop. Does it bug you, Dave?
No.
Literally in the car, we'll be in the car and driving, and Sam will be like, "Stop shaking your legs. I can feel it." While we're
Get the same
driving.
thing from Leslie.
do you do that when you sleep?
No.
Okay.
Sleep like a rock.
Nice.
All
Leslie
right.
does the same fucking thing, dude. She's like, "Stop shaking your leg." I'm like, "I can't. I'm sorry."
It's not a conscious thing that we're doing. Restless leg syndrome.
That's true. Yeah, so want to move into some listener questions?
No, I want to finish Warhammer talk.
Oh, yes.
Nick, do you have anything else to add? Have you been playing it?
I'm still playing it. I'm waiting for the free open world version to come out in about the next month or so. Once that happens,
Did you play your weekly thing with the DLG crew?
I did. We started a little late, so I only had to play like about an hour and 45 minutes. But usually we play like 2 hours. Mm-hmm. It was a lot smoother this time.
That's
good.
true. Yeah, it was.
Still not super smooth, but they said they're working on that.
All
They
right.
said that part's on their end. So
Well, sir, super sad that I brought this up for the first war. So do we have another game for Game of the Weeks that anybody can think of?
Elden Ring, everybody should play it.
Oh God, no.
No. Wait, what was the overcooked like space one?
This means warp.
This means warp. We can
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Bobby doesn't want to play it anymore.
Yeah. It's done.
I don't know. I do kind of want to play some more.
He wants to play it, but like with 4 office administrators.
But I don't know when that game comes out. That was on the 17th, I think. So
So we're a week off from that one. We'll figure something else.
Gorilla tag. Let's all take on a bunch of 9-year-olds that are toxic. Yeah.
oh my God. Okay. All right, well, let's get into some listener questions. First one comes from Curd the Ape. When was the last time you got sucked into a game and you lost yourself for a few hours, days, or weeks? What was the game? Were there other contributing factors worth mentioning in your life at the time?
I feel that's me and Gran Turismo right now, dude. Like last night. So me and Leslie have this dynamic on the weekends where one day one of us will sleep in while the other one watches Vivian. And so I get to sleep on Sundays. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll stay up until like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I'll just play video games. I stayed up until like 2 a.m, which is like suicide, because even like sleeping in, it's still pretty bad. And when we first got it, we played for like 6 hours straight.
Phew.
And it's just like, dude, we can't stop playing it. It's just so fun.
How are you doing at co-op, or what are you doing?
We just passed the controller. Like, just
Hot
take this
seat,
race,
you
I'll
mean?
take this race.
Hot seat co-op?
Hot seat co-op.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We're doing hot seat podcasting, Bobby. We talk once at a time.
Yeah. Probably the last game I really got sucked into was Bannerlord.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that was, I guess you could say it was during winter break. And even though I was still working, I was working 3-day weeks. So, I mean, I had a little bit more time, but still it was, I was putting in way too much time into that game. Like it was problematic.
I will continue to say, it's my answer for everything. It used to be Binding of Isaac, and now it's Magic the Gathering. I play it way too much time. And, you think about a game being 5 to 10 minutes, but then you're like, one more game, into infinity. There's no end. Unless you pull yourself away,
those are the games that do it. That's how Bannerlord was. It had that one more turn thing like Civ.
Yeah.
For me,
in this Magic set, there's a card that's worth $1,400.
Yeah. So, what's his name? John sent me a whole thing where he was trolling you about having it.
I was about to mention that. Fucking asshole, dude.
He totally tricked him.
Yeah, the chances of getting it are insane. Like it's just astronomically low. But yeah, it's worth $1,400.
There is some Magic the Gathering news days. I don't want to cut you off too much before I forget. I have to talk about what I think about when it comes up, because I will forget 2 seconds later. The next set, Bobby, Mobsters.
What?
Yeah.
Magic?
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering
Mobsters. Yeah, there's 5 families, and each family is a collection of 3 colors. So, like, black, red, white would be one of the families. And there's 5 families, and they run some city, and that's the next set. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
right, Nick?
I guarantee you, by the way, Emilio, that this set that's coming up right here, because of these color patterns and everything, depending on how strong the lands are, this set may be one of the investment sets where you'll see people just buy like literal pallets of Magic cards and just sit on them. Because like, for example, one of the last times that a set had a new type of lands that were really good, and like they were like multiple colors, was in a Cons of Tarkir. And at the time they were like, $11 a land, $10 a land. Now they're $53, $54 each. And so like what ends up happening is like a box of Magic cards is like $98. And now like a box of Cons of Tarkir is, I think, $410.
Damn, I should have held on to all of mine.
How long ago was that, though?
It's $240 right now.
It's a while ago.
And that's so you're gambling with that. You're better off holding it for later.
I think Wizards of the Coast is figuring out that if they make it more collectible, they're just going to sell more things, like what they did with the lands on Kamigawa and what they're doing on this next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're investing more into, like, they know what they are seeing what people are saying is investable, and they're going to try to be doing that every single set now. But anyway.
Yeah, to go back into investing a shitload of time, hours, days, and weeks. At least
VR
the
in
last
general?
game for me. Well, right now it's kind of being the Wanderer, but my damn body fails me with that. So,
Hey, what about
otherwise,
taking that that stuff you take before you get on boats? What's that called?
Dramamine?
Dramamine.
maybe I don't know. To me, man, it's eye strain. My eyes
Oh, it's eye
hurt.
strain.
Yeah, so there's no good cure for that. But a game that really like sucks me in almost every time I sit down to play it is Ark, dude. I get so lost like trying to make sure that the corners look good and like the wall isn't poking out too much. And this would be the perfect place for a cute little direwolf family. And I need like a pink and blue cotton candy looking direwolf to kill shit. And so like next thing you know, there goes 7 hours. Like so that's definitely the game for me that I get really sucked into. Though lately it really has been a lot of VR, and I think The Wanderer for sure, because that game is just amazing.
Do these games affect your dreams? Have you noticed? Like The Wanderer or any VR game or anything?
So far, no.
No.
Yeah, which I would expect them to. And
Do you
who knows,
remember
they
your
still
dreams?
might. All the time. I live through them vividly.
Oh, shit.
It sucks.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not good though. It's normally not
Are you
good.
awake right now?
Yeah, well, I don't know. And that's why I have to watch out about VR, dude, because like I have such vivid, realistic dreams to begin with that I'm already somebody that's kind of like, what the fuck even is reality,
Yeah,
dude?
yeah.
And so that's why if I play too much virtual reality, it's like, oh, you bitch, you need to slow down. Like you're gonna start losing where you're at. So yeah. So
All right.
next question, Warconius-shun, right? Warconius-shun?
Sure.
Warconius-shun. What would you do if Gabe Newell delivered a Steam Deck to you? Then he linked a video of Steam Decks being delivered to people.
Lock them in my closet and hold them for ransom, Steam ransom.
I would just cry. I'd be so happy. I'd be overwhelmed with emotion. I'd just cry.
Yeah.
But I kind of like keeping them captive. Yeah, making them pump out stuff for you,
But
What exactly is he pumping out?
Ideas and as
Are
soon
you
as I
milking
say-
him in your closet?
You're milking him for content.
Is he a golden goose?
You might as well be,
he
dude.
might
Like,
come like great ideas. You never know.
that's
You
what I
could
said. It's
milk-
got
yeah.
great ideas. You create an idea board and lock them in and be like, create the next big thing and then you can leave.
Throw some oatmeal down when he's hungry. It'll be fine. Easy peasy.
Bobby,
Feed
walk
him
me through
crypto.
this. He knocks on your door. You open the door and like
What, my door?
Yeah. First thing Bobby says.
Well, I'd have to buzz him up first of all.
Where's he going to park?
Yeah, and the parking's not great down there.
Do you think Gabe Newell can't get past your shitty fucking security door, dude? He's gonna make it through.
I don't know. Some people struggle with it, but I don't know, man. If
He
you
can dissect an apple with the power of his mind, dude. Like he has no problem getting through your shitty thing.
I don't know. When I watched that video, I realized that I didn't really recognize him. He has gone through kind of a transformation. I think he's lost a little bit of weight, but he's still a very heavy set guy.
Yeah.
But he's got a full, very large beard, and it's all white now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
He's
pretty
like
much all white. He looks like Santa
Chubby
Claus.
Jesus.
He's kind of leaning into Santa Claus if he's giving
Yeah.
everybody a Steam Deck, dude.
Yeah.
Delivering it. Yeah.
Maybe that was the look he was going for, although he wasn't wearing a red suit and cap, so I don't know. But yeah,
I could see this. He's like, "Hey, Robert, I brought you your very own Steam Deck." He's like, "I didn't order one." That's what he said.
Take it back. I don't want it.
just some kind of scam or something. What's going on here? All right, Zap.
Nick?
Oh, Nick, yes.
Man, I would actually like really just want to talk to him, Just be like, hey man, talk to me. Please. I don't have any friends.
Just come on into my basement here so we can have a little chat. Yeah, I see what you're doing, Nick.
Can I record this? Because nobody's gonna believe me because I say this happens every week anyway. That's what you would tell.
All right. Next question from Zap. He asks, could God microwave a burrito so hot even he couldn't eat it?
It would explode before that happens, I would think.
It's like one of those paradoxes that's supposed to make like a robot's brain explode or something.
Maybe that's how that was the Big Bang. God was heating up a super heated burrito.
I mean, I feel like, shit, man, I can microwave a burrito so hot that I can't eat it. Of course he could. Because, like, with a burrito, dude, it could get so hot in just one spot, He would eat that and then it'd be frozen right after the next bite.
Flaming hot on the outside and then rock hard cold on the inside.
That's how most microwaving of burritos goes, dude.
Well, microwaves only go up to like what, 200 degrees or something Fahrenheit. None of this Celsius.
What
crap?
do they use? I don't think they use heat. Do they?
It's
I mean, they heat
radio
things
waves,
up.
but
They heat things up.
Yeah.
Oh, but
saying, like, the
the
max
ambient
temperature
temperature
would be,
inside doesn't
yeah.
change, does it? I don't think it does.
So,
it's waves. It's like
Yeah, it's like- it's
radioactive
microwaves.
waves. Exactly. Yeah.
but I mean, it heats stuff up. But I think the hottest it can get anything is like
200. Yeah.
it's like around 200 or something.
Which
like
yeah,
that.
then the burrito would explode.
Say that to my missing fucking taste buds from this morning's reheated coffee. It was molten magma that I poured into my mouth.
Like that burrito would be if God was heating it up, dude.
And also from Orkonishian, asker of questions, many questions, he said. Self-proclaimed. Which porn star do you want to play a game on Steam with, and which game?
On stream. With.
Oh, on stream.
Yeah, so he linked an article here. I forgot I'm on duty here. I got to pull this up for you guys. So he linked an article where some streamer hired someone from Cam Soda, and I don't really know what Cam Soda is. Is that like a
It's like
webcam
a cam girl.
Cam girl thing?
Yeah,
okay,
cam girl thing.
So he hired some girl on Cam Soda to play Elden Ring with him, and they played for 40 hours.
They probably had a crazy viewership, right? It probably paid for itself, I would imagine.
Well, he spent $20,000 on her, so I mean, hopefully he did get a lot of viewers for that.
Gosh, she got paid more to play video games than she does to get fucked.
Yeah, I fucked up, dude. Like, well, that's what I should have been doing growing up, being a cam girl.
I had a girlfriend who this is before cams, I guess, or before I knew cams were a thing. She
Just AOL chat rooms.
She was like a blonde, kind of like your typical like blonde.
Bombshell.
Yeah, voluptuous and blonde. Anyway, her friend, she was Canadian or somewhere. Yeah, Canadian. Her friend just showed up with all this like fucking fancy stuff one day after high school. She's like, "Where'd you get all this shit? A car and nice purses and stuff?" She's like, "I went to Japan. You go to parties. You don't do anything. All you do is like
You just let dudes eat sushi off you.
yeah, no. You just drink drinks and then you go home. Like they are super respectful. You're just basically eye candy at these parties." So she went and she made like $30,000 in a summer and got to live in Japan.
I mean, remember, there's lots of people selling their bath water and hot tub water and making
true.
tons of money.
It's
And
true.
so part of my everyday uniform is putting on a clown outfit because what the fuck am I doing with my life, dude? When I could just literally scoop up some bath water and sell that shit on the internet.
My bath water would only be worth for like lab testing. Like, what the fuck? How's this guy still alive?
What is this, super
New
AIDS?
perk on Patreon,
Super
guys.
AIDS?
For $10 an hour on Patreon, or $10 a Patreon, you can get Emilio's bathwater.
There you go.
Just kidding. That's not a thing.
It might be.
Gonna make it a thing?
Is there demand? I have the supply.
Let us know in Discord or in the comments below if you want to start buying Emilio's bathwater for your own science experiments.
Oh boy.
Yikes. Yep.
That's a yikes.
That's a yikes.
Sasha Grey seems like a smart and super hot girl, and she streams anyway. So I feel like that'd be a good choice. Yeah, she would just fit right in automatically. You know what I mean? So yeah, Sasha
All right.
Grey.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Mia Khalifa because she's already mainstream and she would bring hella views to the DLG community,
Yeah. Yep.
just
that's
like
true.
instantly.
There you go. All right.
Bobby is going to pretend he can't name a porn star.
I don't know. Renowned sex pest Ron Jeremy.
Dude, he is in prison, man.
Is he in prison? What did he do?
Dude, oh man, he is not. a
Wait, is he
good
actually in
time.
prison? Because I know I heard about the stuff, but I
What
didn't.
happened?
He like has been raping people since like the 70s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, there's that's a big generalization. It's a little more nuanced than that, but yeah, Not great.
Wow.
Nope.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people realize porn in the 70s was like pretty gross, number one. A lot of bush. But number two, like it was not... people were not being... there wasn't a lot of SAG representation, I guess.
Right,
it was like the whole Linda Lovelace thing, like the whole story behind her. Like she was a prostitute who was like constantly beat by her pimp, and then they made that movie. Like he forced her to make that movie, and then she becomes this big celebrity because of it. But she was like, and she had like drug issues. Like it was pretty gnarly back then.
Yeah. It was it's not something like I feel like right now it's definitely more accepted, and it's just something that somebody does for a year to make some money, and then stops, and then that's it. And there's a business around it. There's somebody that represents you, and then you do it, and then
I think there's probably a lot more protection, especially if you're a woman going into that.
Yeah.
So but it wasn't like that in the 70s. But the 70s were crazy. That's someone who did not live through the 70s. Speaking about it like I know. But I did see Boogie Nights, so there we go. Anyway, I think that's all the questions we have this week, unless we missed somebody.
Yeah, I don't know porn stars, so I don't know who I would have stream with me. Probably a hot redhead, though. So I'm just going to say a hot redhead.
There you go.
With nice perky tits. There we go.
Ooh.
Right.
What's that one? Never mind. I was thinking, I think I know
He
one.
was trying to name it, yeah.
All right. Next week, I guess we all know what Game of the Week is. So, what's coming up on Game Pass? Somebody bring up Game Pass. Let's see what's to come or just released on Game Pass. That's a good way of doing it. We should just call it the Game Pass segment. Seems like more and more it's just Game Pass games. Unless you guys all want to play Survivors of the Void. I'm definitely going to play more.
I don't know, man. I have tried so many times to get into Risk of Rain.
I know.
Where does it show the new releases?
I don't know if you're on Game Pass.
Typically at the app.
Yeah, right. Oh, this one doesn't have the app, huh?
Sniper Elite 5.
All right, well,
Wait.
something on Game Pass. I'm going to play.
Yeah.
I feel like if we just announce it on Discord, we don't get as much punch out of it. But all right, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Like last week, I knew exactly what I was going to play. The following week, this week, I don't know. We'll see what comes up.
Yeah, more Survivor the Void for me. Days. Well, how are you
Probably
not
even
beating the
more
Wanderer? You're super
bigger.
stuck. Is that what it is?
With the Wanderer, yeah, I'm kind of stuck at this spot.
Yeah,
I have
and then
this,
you get
like-
dizzy.
Yeah, then I get dizzy. The last time I played, I was stupid. It didn't eat. Like I said, I keep messing up with my body, dude. You take care of your body, you can take care of your mind, and I'm not doing a good job with that. I got to work on that, and then I got to figure out. I went into this like Mayan temple thing, and I got these pieces together, but I don't know where the hell this thing goes. It looks like it needs to go into something, and I can't find that. I'm looking. I've got the stick. I'm looking for the hole, and I can't find the damn hole. It's a
Welcome
problem we
my
all
life.
experience. I was gonna say a lot of us experience this issue, right? So, I'll work on that probably, but I'm not too sure either what I'm playing. I'm kind of with you there, Bobby. Like,
Was RoboQuest always on the Game Pass?
No, this is
new. Okay.
Yeah, these are new.
So,
It's
yeah.
a game preview. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what game preview means either.
It's basically early
the demo,
access. I
probably.
think.
Okay.
Yeah. But we could do that or Hollow Knight. I've
Ooh,
always
Hollow
wanted.
Knight.
I've always
Yeah,
wanted to
me
play Hollow
too.
Knight.
all right, let's
Hollow
do
Knight it is.
Hollow Knight it is.
Yeah. God, and that game came out so long ago, and I've been sleeping on it ever since.
It's a Souls-like, right, Nick?
Yeah, it's a Souls-like.
A 2D
I've
Souls-like.
never played it. I am down to play it.
Cool. All right. Nice. All right. Speaking for Nick, Bobby, Amsit, Sniper, Amanda, and myself. Ooh, hollow titties sounds terrible. I don't even want to say it. Full voluptuous titties, guys.
Night titties.
Night titties. Night titties.
Night titties.
Ram, bam, 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 da. What? Did I miss the Roadman 2 thing?
Yes.
You did really
Oh.
think so.
man.
Because now Roadman's in here. I don't know what Roadman is.
And you'll never know.